Welcome back to The Power of the W. In this episode, we sit down with two familiar faces, TV news anchors Morgan Ottier and Shelby Kluver. We talk to them about life in the public eye and the reality of online negativity. They share personal stories, lessons learned, and strategies for maintaining confidence and kindness when the comment section gets harsh. From learning when to engage to knowing when to scroll on, they share their tips for staying grounded, confident, and kind in a digital world that isn't always either. Welcome to the Power of the W podcast, a space where we inspire, educate, and celebrate the incredible strength and resilience of women from all walks of life. In each episode, we'll dive into the stories, experiences, and insights of amazing women who are making their mark in the world. From personal development and career success to health, wellness, and entrepreneurship and beyond, we're here to uplift, empower, and fuel your journey to greatness. So get ready to embrace the power of the W. Morgan and Shelby, thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
This is your first time you guys meeting.
Yes.
Yeah. I know that sometimes, just because we're in the Quad Cities and the TV stations are so close, they always, think that, you guys run into each other all the time, but, you know, it's rare.
I had a viewer ask me recently if you and I get together often and collaborate on things. And I'm like, that sounds lovely. But I'm like, unfortunately, it's not really how that works. But no, I'm excited to meet you. I mean, I've admired you for so many years. And I was like, yeah, this is a great opportunity to meet you.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, this is really exciting. I just feel like I have so much to learn, so love watching you.
Oh, thank you. Same, though. I think you always feel that way. Yeah.
Well, I love you both, and so that's why I asked you guys to be on the show. But I guess, let's just start with, why journalism? How did you guys get to journalism? Whoever wants to go first.
Well, I am much older than Shelby, so I have to think way, way, way back. But I started at the University of Iowa as a freshman, and I don't even know that I knew that's what I wanted to do. I think I kind of, as an undergrad, dabbled a little bit that first year. I had, journalism maybe, and then you had to pick, a second major. So I was all over the place. I was acting or psychology and I also didn't know what I wanted to do in journalism. So I was I worked for this University of Iowa magazine and wrote some articles for this magazine. And then I did the Daily Iowan TV, not until later in my college career though, because you had to have a lot of prerequisites to get on with that. So then I graduated and decided that I wanted to be in TV journalism because I loved all the different elements, the visual elements of all of it and everything. I thought it was really fun. And I worked for a CBS affiliate in Cedar Rapids and right out of school in production. So that was my first job in TV news. Was I made first I started running the cameras, which everything was manual then. Now everything is really automated and robotic. So I had to focus the shot on the news anchors and stuff. And then I moved into making graphics. And then I decided, no, I want to be a reporter. I want to be on air. And so I didn't have enough experience with internships and stuff. So I ended up doing a year of grad school just in Chicago just so that I could apply to do internships because they wouldn't, I don't know if it's changed now, but they wouldn't accept you for internships in TV news unless A, you were a student enrolled somewhere or B, in a journalism program.
Yeah.
So I did internships in Chicago, and then I decided I wanted a smaller community where they would potentially let you do more in your internship other than just logging video interviews. Yeah. So I applied to 2 stations in Davenport or the Quad Cities, I should say. And I said, whichever one gets back to me first, that's where I'll do my internship. Yeah. And KWQC got back to me right away. And they're like, yeah, come on down. We'd love to have you. And then a few minutes later, WQAD got back to me. And I didn't know the difference at all. And they're both incredibly, talented teams and great. So, but I've been here
Ever since. Yeah.
So I'm a unique unicorn in the fact that I have never left
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Quad Cities.
And you just had an anniversary?
15 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
15
started,
years.
officially started the job, not the internship, but in September, the day after Labor Day, because they wouldn't let me start on a holiday. So I'll never forget it. So the day after Labor Day, in September in 2010.
Yeah. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Shelby, what are you at now?
I just started year 6.
6. I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, not quite 15.
That's still a long time, though.
It's a very long time.
Because
And
you often see people stay for a couple of years and then move on. So,
Yeah.
It flies.
yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting that neither one of us are from here originally.
Right.
And yet here we are, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was into speech and debate in middle school and high school, and in like 8th grade, one of my coaches goes, "You have a great broadcasting voice." And that was kind of the first moment where I was like, oh, maybe that's something. Because I grew up watching the news every single night with my family. It was like we all sat down and watched the 6 and the 10. But I never thought it was a path for me. And then I fell in love with reporting. I always loved writing. I worked for a magazine in college. And then right as I was starting to get into internships, WQAD came to my school and introduced themselves, and I kind of just kept them in the back of my mind. They reached back out again my senior year, and I came out here for a visit. I think you were gone by that point, Jenna. But like I met Liz and Steph and a bunch of people that I loved here. And then 2 days later, the pandemic hit, and every country across the station every station across the country wasn't hiring. QAD rescinded their job offer to me.
Oh my gosh.
And I just kind of was stuck in Chicago, and then a couple months went by, they re-offered it, and I've been here ever since.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
But it kind of worked out for the best because I didn't get to apply anywhere else. It was just kind of like the only thing available, and it's worked out amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you guys first started broadcasting, how did you imagine the public reaction? How would you imagine the public would react to your work? And then how does the reality compare?
Let me think about that. I mean, because I've done worn different hats at KWQC over these 15 years, so it changes. I will say when I first started out reporting, like I was very green. Like I was scared. Like I knew I loved what I was doing, but I was using equipment that I wasn't used to. I mean, I was one-man banding or MMJing, whatever. Like you run your own camera, drive yourself to every story. Even like miking up an interview subject like made me nervous. Like I was like, I'm going to do something wrong. The audio, I'm going to bring it back and it's going to be awful. I remember my first live shot. I blacked out. Yeah. Like I did one for the 5 p.m. and then I did the second one for 6. And one of the producers at WQAD here, Anne, she was the producer in my ear for that live shot. And I just remember her going, go, talk. And I'm just like bewildered, like staring at the camera. And I will never forget that. I never watched it. I couldn't watch it.
Do you remember what the story was?
It was something about, it was at the airport. So they're in Moline. And I think it had something to do with luggage. I don't remember because I was standing by where you load the luggage. I think maybe they were getting like where you could load the luggage yourself and you didn't have to go to the desk. I'm not quite sure what it was, but it was like a very like pretty easy story to do for someone who's doing their first live shot. Yeah. So I don't know what people said about me then because I feel like social media wasn't the way that it is
that's
now.
True. Yeah.
Like you would maybe like someone may call the newsroom and go, "Gosh, you got to get rid of this new reporter." Like,
right.
Who knows? No one told me if they did, and why would they? And then, or you would get some emails here and there, which I don't really recall. I decided to start reporting, being the live reporter on our morning show because I wanted that experience that I felt like I wasn't going to get. Just working with a group of reporters, veteran reporters that were always going to get the lead story over me. So nobody wants to do the morning reporter job all that often because you wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I did. And that's where I really learned how to be live. And I really enjoyed just being live all the time. Like my favorite stories in the mornings were just like you're at a construction off I-74 and you're telling people what's going on and you're just live the whole morning. Like I loved that. So but then I ended up being morning anchor. That opens you up to a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, judgment. You know, you're in people's faces for 2.5 hours every single day. So
Yes.
if you are saying a word over and over that they don't like, I used to say as a reporter, the anchor would toss to me and I used to say, "That's right, Jessica," or "That's right, David," every single time. And I had a lady write it and go, "Can you stop saying that's right?" every single time. And like, it's like stuff like that, like they become like earworms for people and you don't even realize. So I would say like just some little things like that. But by and large, I've been very lucky for the most part when it comes to criticisms and things like that.
Yeah.
Not always,
Yeah.
which we can get into.
Yeah.
But I want you to
Shelby, I guess
talk.
like before you got into it, like did you expect there to be criticism, or what did you have any thoughts about that?
I feel like I'm gonna contradict what I'm about to say because I did expect it, but I also really didn't care. I used to get in trouble with our old news director all the time because I refused, especially during COVID years. I wouldn't put on makeup at all for work, and I was a reporter. I wasn't on the desk, but like we'd be doing live shots or stand-ups, and I had my hair natural and it wasn't touched and I didn't have any makeup on. And the problem with that, besides, you know, you want people to look presentable, I felt like I did, and I thought I was presenting.
I
the
don't
news.
think you need, for what it's worth, to wear
Exactly.
makeup. So
That's what I thought. My problem is I already look pretty young, younger than what I am, and when I don't wear makeup, it's really, really obvious. So I remember, like, I did a story in Watauga, Illinois, when an old, I think it was an old building was coming down. I don't think it was a grain elevator, but it was something. And I did all these ass lives and stand-ups, and I look back and I was like, someone wrote in and they were like, "Why do you have a high schooler like reporting or doing whatever?" And I was like, well, that would have been a really, really good high schooler.
Well, yeah.
I was a pretty good reporter.
I was gonna say, first of all, we'll take high school.
I know. I was.
They're good at what they
I was
do.
like, way to go, high schooler!
Yeah.
Like you go, you're on TV.
I know.
Like
Yeah.
I mean,
But so no, I expected it, but I really just didn't care. And like we can get into it, but the number one thing now that people comment on all the time is my hair, and I care more than I did before, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, I'm just like so much more focused on
what you're doing, what you're
exactly,
saying, who you're
and
talking
like
to.
and the way that local news is transitioning. I don't think it's going to matter going forward. So
yeah.
I try to keep that mindset.
And for the record, people, no, they do not have someone who does their hair or makeup. I know a lot of people think that, but no, they do not. So I just want to say that.
I do mine at my desk. Like I don't even use the makeup room at KWQC because oftentimes I'm working while I'm putting on my makeup or curling my hair. So there are probably folks who work in the newsroom that walk by my desk and go, "Is all this woman does all day is put on makeup?" Because I'm here with one hand and I'm typing and then I'm stopping and I'm putting the curling iron in. Yeah, nobody does that for you.
Yeah.
And so when people hate my hair, that's on me. When people love my hair, also on me.
Exactly.
I can never make it look the same 2 days in a row. Not possible.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
not at all.
Well, and I think for me, it's more important that you guys are getting your facts straight, that you're credible, that we can trust like what you're going to say. Like that's more important to me. Unfortunately, like not everyone feels that way. But can you guys share a moment when like public criticism hit you the hardest, if you have one that comes to your mind?
Sure. Well, for me, you know, having had a baby, people can be really cruel about like your weight as a woman on air. So I just remember feeling really nervous about coming back to work, not feeling like I snapped back and like, you know, just didn't have the energy to like be in the gym. I had a new baby at home. So like there would be like some kind of like cruel remarks here and there about like when's she gonna lose the baby weight and stuff like that, like on like public, on like Facebook and things like that, but not often. I do feel like I've been very, very lucky with viewers and with folks here in the Quad Cities where there is a couple of those bad actors that they're miserable and they want to take you down for no reason other than they think that's going to make them feel better. But I really have not run into a lot of folks who have done that, because that does affect me.
Yeah.
Unlike Shelby, I am a little more sensitive to stuff like that. I always have been, and I would prefer just not to read the comments at all if people are going to act that way. With that said, I haven't had huge problems with it, but then when I lost a bunch of weight, I had somebody say something very horrible. They sent an email into the entire newsroom, and they said, you need to tell Morgan Ottier to stop losing weight. She looks like she has cancer. And I'm just like, what an awful, like, derogatory thing to say. And I'm not even talking about me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to use something like
that, yeah.
To like make somebody feel bad. So that was one of the worst ones that I can remember. And then most recently, I've decided to probably stop sharing my daughter on social media as much as I used to when she was like a baby and doing cute things, because now she's in elementary school. She's going to start going through her awkward phase. I think my daughter is the most beautiful child on the planet, obviously. But I had a really rude comment recently that was making fun of her smile. She has a gap in her teeth.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
And they're like, she has terrible teeth. And, like, I'm like, that's a little child,
I mean, how low do you have to be to...
Right. And so, her dad and I talked about it, and he's like, I think we just kind of need to stop sharing her. And unfortunately, like, I have so many viewers who, like, root for her and root for me, and
love to see that aspect of your life,
that personal aspect of my life. But it's gotten to the point where I'm like, I never want her to read anything like that. So it's they're tough out there in these streets.
Yeah,
it can be.
Yeah.
Anything that's particularly bothered you? I know you said not a lot of them do, but
well, it's more so. It bothers me worse when I don't think people realize that when you type in a comment about someone, most of the time it's going to the whole newsroom.
Yes.
And that's what bothers me is like, okay, sometimes I'm like, dang, they kind of ate me up. Like, they're a little right. Like,
for sure.
Like, sometimes I'll be like, ooh, they had a good point on that one.
Yeah.
But now every single person in the building knows, and
yes,
I kind of wish that wasn't the case. So, but it really bothers me when, like when you get like a stray comment. Like, one of my coworkers went to the tailor, and they were talking about like his job and what he was doing, and unprompted they go, oh, but Shelby, she just like needs extensions and stuff like that gets me, because I'm like, we weren't even talking about me. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to bring that up to my coworker. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's like hurtful, and that newsroom wide email gets me every time, because it's humiliating.
It is
because it's your peers. You know what I mean? Like, these are folks that either you've worked with for a very long time and you fully respect their opinion, and it's embarrassing, even if it has nothing to do with what you said on TV, and just something silly like your appearance or the outfit you wore that day.
Yeah.
But then you also have all these new young people that are coming in, and you are trying to be a mentor to many of them in some way, especially when I was doing news. And when somebody, says something like that, it's embarrassing. And it's like, if you have a problem with me, I do have an email. You could send it to me personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the worst.
And I'm just like, why can't we all just be kind?
I
But
know.
also, if you don't like me, flip the channel. Unfollow me on social media. Like, I just don't. And and I feel like since they are behind the screen, they are a lot braver, to say these things.
Yeah.
Morgan, you just talked about like mentoring. So these younger reporters who are coming in and maybe they're facing some criticism, like, what have you guys said to them to help them?
For me, I feel like it depends what they're facing, right? Because if they want to work on something with me, especially if it's like related to putting together a package or their live presence, like I told you, I really went through the ringer when I first started doing like live reports. Like, I was really nervous, and it would hinder my ability to do well. So I've been through that. But when it comes to things like appearance or them getting criticized for that, the only thing that I can ever say is it a distraction? Like, remember when those like big necklaces
the
were a thing? The statement
necklaces,
Coming back.
Yes. So I've seen. So like those things, like we would have some real wild ones that we would wear on air, and think that was like the coolest look ever. But the reality is, it was kind of distracting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I had like, if I had like a news director or a mentor come up to me and say, I just don't know if that's,
Yeah.
you know, if somebody had emailed in,
Yeah.
they kind of have a point, you
Yeah.
know? So it's just like a fine line. Like, are we being mean or are we being helpful?
Yeah.
And that's all appearance related stuff. But as far as like mentoring, like through news, I mean, that's the fun part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Having been through it, for the
Yeah.
last 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I try to focus on is like, regardless of this, how do you feel about the story that you put out today or the work that you did or the journalism that you did? Because that's what you're in this job for, and that's how I try to look at it. It doesn't work for everyone, but when people have nasty comments, it's like, well, I'm not in this for your opinion or your comments. I'm in this to bring this story to this community. So
Yeah.
that's what you just got to focus on.
Yeah. How do you guys like filter or process those comments? Like, how do you decide I'm just gonna ignore that, or you know what, I am gonna respond to that? How do you guys decide that?
I will say it's different. For I'm a white woman, and when we have reporters of color that are getting racist comments written in, that's completely different. When it comes to like appearance stuff, I try to never respond, or if I do, it's a thank you so much for watching.
Yep.
I appreciate this.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Or
Yeah.
sometimes if it's really mean, sometimes I will get a little petty and I'll go stalk their social medias and I'll find something about them. Like this one woman wrote in just like a pretty nasty comment, and I had seen that the day that she wrote that in was her mother's birthday. So I wrote back, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, whatever. And then I said, like, I hope you and your mother have fun celebrating tonight or something. Just to like remind them, like,
that we're human beings.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be the same for me. That's the approach that I will typically take is, you know, thank you so much for watching, and kill them with kindness type of approach, because I feel like at the end of the day, I kind of want them to just remember that I'm a human being, and they're going to go, well, that was really nice, and why did I take the time to be so nasty to this person? With that said, the comment about my daughter, I mean, I couldn't let that go.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything, you know, mean back, but I just said that is a child, so like you really need to watch it, because that's so inappropriate, and so many viewers came to
I was gonna say
my
they probably
defense in that, which was really sweet to see. Other times, if we get like emails or comments about like the show, like Quad Cities Live or something, the only time that either I will respond or just somebody on the team, like our EP Jake or someone, is if they blatantly like have something wrong in the email that they sent. So if they're complaining about something, it's very obvious that they didn't even that wasn't even on the show today, or we did ask that question.
Yeah.
Or, you know, they'll say, why didn't you ask him about this? And da-da-da-da. And we go, well, we did. I mean, you may have missed it, but we did talk about that. Those are the ones that we will respond to, and we'll just, like, link the interview. Sometimes they have good points. So I will engage if, like, okay, so I get this a lot. I talk with my hands. I'm constantly getting, tell Morgan to stop moving her hands when she's talking, like, and I'm just like, I'm trying, like, I'm at this point, I'm like sitting up, because they have a point, like what, like I said, with you know, younger reporters, like, you don't want to be distracting, but at the end of the day, I have an Italian dad, and I can't help it, like, I'm doing it right now. So,
at the end of the day, you're trying to connect with the people that you're interviewing with.
Yeah, it was never a problem when I was live reporting. Exactly. I'm trying to show you this crash over here. I could use my hands, but so it's a real big switch, and I don't know if you would feel the same way, having been out on the streets as a reporter to now being in-house primarily and being in front of the camera at a desk. You know, you do, like, you're more aware of your movements and your gestures and things like that, because it's just a different arena. It's weird.
It is, and people would complain if you sat there and didn't move your hands
and you
at all.
did not emote in any way.
Yeah,
they would.
And it's like, honestly, it's one of those jobs you're never gonna make
everyone happy.
You're just not. You know, like you just aren't. Right. Like for us at the YWCA, like obviously we help women and children, but like our focus is women, and like on our social media, like if we talk about women's issues, oh boy, it makes several people angry. And the comments are just disgusting and sexist. And do you feel like both as women, you guys face criticism more than your male coworkers?
Oh, for sure. internally and externally. And I don't think that's unique to this station or this market.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of, or this industry even. It's not unique to any of that. That's just the reality of the world that we live in.
Yeah. I will agree with that. I think it's always been that way. I mean, it doesn't mean that we have to like it. That's why sometimes it is difficult to just ignore the comment or just give them a thank you for watching, because it isn't fair at all. It isn't fair, and it hasn't been. But it is also the reality, which is unfortunate. I think it's the same, like when you talk about how you post different women's issues, like on social media for your organization. It's the same thing for news. Like, you know, if Shelby posts something news related that has something to do with a women's issue or women's rights or something like that, they're automatically going to, you know, they're going to decide what side of the aisle you sit on just based on the fact that you shared a literal fact about something that is going on in current events. Because you shared that piece of news, that means so much. They know everything about you. They know all your political beliefs. They know, you know, that is really tough, and it is hard to not respond to people that want to like make everything just like a political, like a violent arena all the time on social media. It's tough.
And you have to wonder, like I really have to tell myself how many of these people are real. Because that is a huge problem. Like, how many people are just bots?
There
like,
are,
typing out? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I know. And it killed me because we were talking about women in poverty. And so we have all these nasty comments. And the ones that were from women, I was like, come on.
Yeah,
like,
we have to do better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like, you know, women, we are ganged up on enough. Like, we all need to kind of stick together. So that's always just...
That's
infuriating. Yeah, it is. I'm like, okay. So I guess in an era where viewers sometimes confuse anchors' opinions of the network, like a lot of people think because you work for ABC, you are connected.
Oh, I took Jimmy Kimmel off the air.
Yes. Yes. That's what I was going to say.
That's
so
the phone calls I've been getting.
Yeah. So how do you balance that, I guess?
This is tricky, especially tricky, I should say, because you can't go off of your first instinct. You can't even go off of what maybe you think is right to respond with, because like a sentiment like this, you have to go by what your managers are telling you to say, or what your station is telling you to say. But when it comes to people conflating opinions and work, I think it's taught me to just protect my personal life so much. And I almost never, if I post something about my personal life online, it is so calculated, and I don't want you to know anything more than what this photo or what this caption says, because it doesn't matter, because you shouldn't care what my beliefs are, because if I'm doing my job correctly, that doesn't matter. That doesn't come into the studio or come into the office with me. And you wish you could tell everybody that, but people don't believe you. And you just have to, for me, it's like, you're never going to convince the people that don't believe you already. So all you can do is prove to the people that do believe you or are giving you a shot that
that you're still doing a good job.
That I mean it.
Yeah. No, I think with everything that you said, a lot of times you can't engage with those people at all for specifically what you just said, which is that they don't like you anyway, or they don't want to believe you anyway, and nothing is going to change that.
Yeah, they're not going to like your answer. They just want to fight.
Exactly. You're just going to be engaging, and then you're just going to ruin your own day. So it's like, believe what you want. But it is very, very tough. And especially, you know, viewers mixing up too, unfortunately, like network versus local. And we didn't cover this, that, or the other thing because the network that we're on is skewed particularly liberal or right, you know, whatever it is the person, whatever, you know, they've painted for themselves in their minds. And it's like, no. We have wonderful assignment editors that sit there all day looking at the desk in the newsroom, looking for the things that we should cover, the things that are happening that day that matter most to our viewers here across the QCA. And it has absolutely nothing to do with who's in the White House or, you know.
Yeah.
So.
If you guys could help the public understand one thing about what it's like to sit in your chair every night, what would it be?
That's a good question.
One thing to know what it's like to sit in our chair?
Yeah.
Okay.
First and foremost, it is definitely a privilege, and it's not something that either one of us take lightly. It doesn't matter what size market we're in or what the story is. Everything matters, and getting it correct matters. So any misconceptions about being a talking head or pushing points that someone else has deemed you to push is incredibly false. And if you could see the debates and the arguments that we have in our own editorial meetings about what are we doing with this story, or how are we framing this, or are we being fair, or did we reach out to everybody involved, people don't see that side of it. So and they also don't see all of the work that goes into an 8, 9, 10, 11 hour shift to get to that hour, half hour newscast. So at a time when like it's so easy to feel like, who can I trust? I mean, you go online and it's very inflammatory, or it's very saturated, and it can feel very overwhelming. That's what we're here for, is to help cut through that and make sense of things and try to present things in a way that you can see every side of it. So I would say that people that have doubts are probably looking for exactly what we're providing.
Right. Yeah. That's a great answer. As far as I'm concerned, especially with what I'm doing now with Quad Cities Live, I want people to know, just like Shelby said, that I feel very privileged. I've been given such an incredible opportunity to be able to carry on a show that was made a legacy by Paula Sands, who's, you know, an icon in the Quad Cities. And to be able to even have that opportunity is amazing, and I don't take it lightly, and I love it. The other thing, it's fun. I have fun every day. I love the people that I'm talking to every single day, even if there's a segment that we have planned and I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't even know if I'm, you know, let's just say it's like a bank or something where you're just like, okay, you know, that's pretty straightforward. The people are what make the show great. It's that person that's representing the bank that came on to share about, you know, what they're doing digitally for their customers or whatever. But it's fun. We have a good time. And at the end of the day, for me, all I want is my authenticity to come through while folks are watching the show, to know that I don't care who you are, where you came from, I'm enjoying your company, I'm excited to be here and spotlight, highlight whatever it is that you came to talk to me about. So that's a big one. And also, yes, I do get nervous. People that come on every day, they go, I don't know how you do this every day. Like, you're, you know, they're so kind, and they're like, you're running around the studio, like, you're a real pro, and blah, 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 blah. If they even knew, like, I work closely with Claire, Kyle Keel, and Jake. If they only knew how A, hard I am on myself, and B, how nervous I really do get sometimes before we start a show. I've been at it like just over a year, but it was like big shoes to fill. And I still do feel before some shows like just a level of anxiety. Like I take it one segment at a time. Like, you know, just get through this one and make sure you're hyper focused on this person or this group or organization, and then on to the next. Like, I still have to do that with myself every day, even though I've been doing this for 15 years, because doing a show like this, as you know, with The Current, it's so much more than reading off a teleprompter. It's so much more about engagement with the person that you're speaking to, and about being genuine and authentic and celebrating the Quad Cities. So, to make a long story short, I'm with Shelby. I think, you know, we're just happy to be here, and we're just trying to do the best job that we can.
Obviously, over the years, social media has really like grown, and I feel like it's given people, like, I guess, more of an access to interact, you know, with their favorite reporters and anchors. Like, overall, do you think it's been a negative experience, positive, or maybe like a mixture of both?
You know, I try to look at the bright side of things. I'm gonna say it's overall been positive. On one hand, like, it's so much easier to hear other people's stories and to figure out, like, it's easier to find story ideas when you're able to, like, get a snapshot of your community like that. But, like, on a personal level, Yeah, people here have just been beyond kind, and even though we talked about some nasty comments, it like is like 1,000 to 1. People are so kind and have been so welcoming, and it's something that I talk about when new reporters come and interview for the job. I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean, this is a community that loves and supports news and local news. So we're really lucky and privileged.
Yeah, I would agree. I think by and large it's been a good experience. Really, it makes some viewers feel like family, you know, and those times that I talked about the different things that I celebrated, whether it was a wedding or having a baby or whatever it was. I mean, the ones that are with you and they're rooting for you. And so yeah, like you said, I mean, I feel very lucky, and I'm sure you do as well. It's not often that those nasty comments come out, and when it's to that point, when they do, I'm like, whoa, it's been a while since I've had one of these, you know? So I think it's been a great experience, and really a way to kind of just level with and be excited with our community and really get different perspectives. And so overall, I think social media has been, wonderful on this level. You know?
I have one story about this. We got engaged this summer, my fiance and I, and I posted about it on Facebook. He works in the mental health field. He's a mental health therapist here in town, and he keeps his private life very private. Like no photos in his office. It's just not something his clients need to know. You know what I'm saying? And he hadn't even gotten a chance to tell his coworkers and his bosses.
They saw those.
And I waited several days to post it. And he was at work, and he had so many clients come in for therapy, for a month straight afterward, and be like, "Congratulations on your engagement," and he'd be like, or like his boss would walking by the hallway and be like, "Congrats, Christopher!" And he helped out at the John Deere Classic a couple days after, or a week after we got engaged. He was helping volunteering for WQAD, and I was used to it, walking around. People were so nice. We joked if I had $1 every time someone congratulated us.
Oh my gosh, that is so sweet.
But he was so thrown off when he wouldn't be beside me, and people would be like, "Congratulations!" And he's like, "This is really crazy." So people were. That was a really, really nice.
And they really do feel like they know you. You know, and it's always sweet when they're so excited about those things for you guys, and
when they're excited about the things you're excited about. It is nice to have that. And I feel like that is very much a local community thing and a local news thing. I was telling you how I worked in Chicago when I was interning, and it just wouldn't be like that there. I mean, I'm sure it's wonderful, and it's a dream come true for somebody else to work in a big market like that. But for me, it's like I fell in love with it here. This is where I want to raise my daughter, because it does feel more familial, and it feels more accessible and just easier. You know? So and that's due 100% just to the people that live here. So
Do you guys have any advice for anyone who is wanting to go into journalism, or who is starting out in the career? Just any advice for them on how to deal with criticism?
Depends on the kind of criticism, for sure.
I guess if it's the hurtful criticism.
You just gotta have a good support system around you. I mean, if you don't, it's so important with anything in life, but you've gotta have people in your corner when you do have particularly nasty emails or phone calls or whatever, to be able to ground you and remind you this is just one hurt person that's now trying to hurt you, so we love you, or we support you, or whatever. And then I know it's like when you have to turn the other cheek. It's like, well, I don't want to sometimes. Why do I have to be the bigger person? It's the same idea of, why are you in this job? Hopefully it's because you really care about your community. I mean, that's the heart of it, and whatever the job may be, or whatever the thing is, why are you posting on social media, or why are you doing whatever you do? Just really weighing if your love for that outweighs how much it hurts, because if it doesn't, maybe it's not worth it.
Right. No, I think that's a perfect way to explain it. because it is difficult and it's going to be difficult. And the unfortunate truth is, especially in this business, that's just never going to go away, right? We go on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, and you'll see the biggest celebrities in the entire world, like Taylor Swift or someone like on that level. Yeah. I mean, they are just getting ripped apart. So it's just, you know, she's not responding to it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's always going to be there, I guess, is my point in saying this. And even at work, when you're just starting out, there's going to be those people that are the veterans that have been there for a really long time. And maybe there are some people that work there that don't make you feel so good when you're just getting started out. Or I would say my big thing is if it's criticism from within, you know, if it's criticism from your newsroom or a mentor or a boss or whoever it may be, maybe another coworker, I would just make sure that you address that, and it's not something that you feel like you have to live with day in and day out. Because, you know, the unfortunate truth is, and I know we're in different, you know, groups online that are for women that are in TV or communications or wherever it is, and they go through a lot silently, and it is not an easy job to do. Yeah. You have to cover some really, really hard stories a lot of times. And that alone can really weigh on a person's mental health. So if you feel like you are on top of that, feeling like you're battling day to day, just within your newsroom or within your personal life or online, definitely address it, because that can really lead to some serious burnout and have long-lasting effects. Yeah.
As we wrap up, anything you want to say to, you know, your viewers or listeners? You know, I kind of liked Morgan's thing, you know, ask yourself, is it hurtful or helpful before you hit that send button? Is there anything you would want to say to them?
Thank you for watching.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching.
For real though. And like, I don't know. I probably know that I pronounced that word wrong. Like, I probably know. As soon as I said it, I was probably like, oh, darn it. And if you kept watching, I probably corrected myself in the next block.
Yeah.
So.
It's like, I'm already kicking my butt for that. I don't need you to.
Exactly. Exactly.
That is so funny. And that is so true. Like, you will just fixate on, like, I can't believe I said that. I knew what I was supposed to say instead.
Yeah.
No, just thank you. I mean, you know, every time I say 15 years, I cannot believe it. It has truly, truly flown by. I can't believe I've been in this community for that long. It feels like home. And I can't imagine being anywhere else, walking through the grocery store and having, I'm still mystified every time someone just goes, hey, Morgan. Like, I'm like, you recognize me?
Yeah.
Like, you know, with my no makeup or my sunglasses, like, I'm mystified by that. Like, I'm like, you watch my show? Like, I still, pinch myself that, you know, I get to do something every day that has an impact on someone, even if it's like 5 people.
Yeah.
Their support is like everything to me. And so I've appreciated 15 years of that support, and I do not take it for granted.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point too. I mean, while you guys like face negative comments, like, you have a lot of positive ones, and like those people, like, that means the world to you guys. So keep up the positive comments.
Yeah, we love that.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on our show.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Power of the W podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with a friend. For more updates, follow us on social media or visit our website at www.ywcaqc.org. We'll catch you next time right here on the Power of the W.